He says interviewers are really looking for any little reason to cut someone loose, not to move them forward.
It's kind of harsh, but I guess it's the truth, right?
Well, yeah, and I think that's why I liked his advice so much. He emphasizes keeping things brief, positive, and not giving them anything they can use against you.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the magic formula?
So he says when they hit you with that "how do you handle stress" question, you just look them straight in the eye and say, "Oh, I actually handle stress very well."
Really? Just like that. It seems almost too simple.
I know, right?
So what makes that so effective?
Well, he explains there's a psychological aspect to it. People hate silence, especially in these high-pressure interview settings.
Right, it's awkward.
Exactly. So by being direct and confident, you take control. You're not giving them time to doubt you.
Interesting. So it's like projecting this image of being unflappable, even if you're nervous inside.
Exactly. And the beauty of it is you're not giving them any specifics they can latch onto. You're not saying, "Oh, I handle stress by doing yoga," or something they could then ask you more about.
Yeah. You're not offering up personal anecdotes that they can then dissect, right?
Exactly. And he says this works about 90% of the time. They move on. But he does offer a follow-up for those interviewers who just won't let it go.
Okay, what's the backup plan?
He suggests something like, "A certain amount of stress, it's just unavoidable sometimes, but honestly, it's never been a problem for me."
I like that. It's still positive, but it acknowledges that, yeah, stress is a part of life.
Right. And he points out that it subtly shifts the pressure back onto the interviewer.
How so?
Well, now they've got to decide, do they keep pushing, which might make them seem a bit much, or do they just move on? He really flips the script on that whole power dynamic in an interview.
That's a good point.
Now, it's not all seriousness with this guy. At the end of the video, after giving this very tactical career advice, he tells everyone to, and I quote, "smash all the buttons."
Classic YouTuber. Gotta get those likes.
Right. But I thought it was a nice reminder that even in a job interview, letting a little personality peek through isn't a bad thing.
It makes you human.
Yeah, exactly. Shows you don't take yourself too seriously. But it did get me thinking. This video gives a great tactical answer for this one question. But how do you authentically showcase those stress management skills in an interview?
Right, because it's one thing to say you handle it well, but it's another to actually demonstrate it.
Exactly. So I think it's important to go beyond the generic answer. You've got to have those real examples ready. Times you faced a tough deadline or a difficult coworker, share those stories.
Those real-life examples are so key. It paints a much clearer picture for the interviewer than just saying, "Oh, I'm a hard worker," or whatever.
It makes you memorable. So next time you're prepping for that interview and you know that stress question is coming, think back on your experiences. How did you overcome challenges? What did you learn? Because those stories, those are what's going to make you stand out.
It's not just about surviving stress. It's about showcasing how you thrive in those situations.